Hey guys, welcome to Offshoot Comics Off Topic. We're your host, Kerbykidd
and Black Superman,
also known as David Clark,
and Walter Bryant.
And today we're talking about what's wrong with Marvel.
Yeah, okay, so we just finished doing some DC videos, and while there's not as many problems with Marvel, there are a few problems with Marvel, and over the course of the last couple of years, they've gotten worse.
Yeah, it's Phase 4 has been rough. Now, granted, it's hard to follow up Endgame. Mm-hmm. That's very difficult to follow up. There's been some wins. There's been a lot of weird stuff and a lot of losses. So, like, the first one I could think of right off the bat, I did not like Black Widow because that should have come out after Civil War. Mm-hmm. I thought there was no point to being out when it came out because it didn't even reveal anything new,
except for the new Black Widow. But you just done that in a 5 seconds at the end of a credit scene.
But see, if they had done that after Civil War, we'd already had known about it. Mm-hmm. It was weird timing.
Even the white uniform made no sense because she didn't use it again after that.
Yeah, so it was bad. It was bad. It was an okay movie at a bad time. And then I know we had Far From Home. Far From Home, which was right after Iron Man had died. I actually liked Far From Home. I thought it was pretty good. Mm-hmm. Peter Parker was very stupid in the movie though. I'm just gonna hand off Edith. That was pretty stupid of him, but still good movie. Then after that, then we had the Disney Plus series comes out. We had we had WandaVision. I actually liked WandaVision.
WandaVision was good.
Then we went from that to Loki. I liked Loki. Mm-hmm. I actually liked Falcon and Winter Soldier. Except for the end was a little they didn't stick the landing. But other than that, it was like some good meat there, And then from there, I thought we had Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel,
which was all right. So anyone out there, I love the Miss Marvel character. I love that first volume. I met the creator of Miss Marvel. I was a big fan. It was bad. Now they picked the right actress for it. It's a good actress for Kamala.
Yes, she was perfect. Except for the superfan thing, where she started acting as if she knew more than everybody else.
Yeah. Well, I liked her. It was the writing that I thought was pretty bad. They skipped over a lot of things like her identity crisis because in the comics she actually turned into Captain Marvel physically, and then they kind of skipped over some of the cultural things like how her superhero suit was her bathing suit that she changed because she's Muslim, so her suits are fully body. Like there's a few things I didn't like. The cast was great. They are not. It's kind of like with DC. Your cast is not the problem. Mm-hmm. Your casting directors are on point. They're doing their job right. It's the people behind the page that are doing just trash work. But I'm hoping that when she gets to the big screen, things will get a little better. I'm just hoping. I'm just hoping. I'm out here being hopeful, Walter. After her we had Hawkeye. Mm-hmm. I actually liked Hawkeye.
I'm sort of indifferent to Hawkeye.
I liked Hawkeye. I thought it was a good way to make it to pass the name on. I liked it. I thought it was a fun adventure.
It was okay. Yeah. I didn't hate it. Mm-hmm. And then
wait, I think something else came out before the one we're thinking about right now, right? It was Hawkeye. Then it was Miss Marvel. Oh yeah, and then it went right into She-Hulk. She-Hulk is the culmination of all the issues that we've had, I think, with Phase 4. But before that, though, we had Multiverse of Madness, which was a good movie. It was good. It wasn't
amazing, but it was good.
It was a movie. Let's see. Oh, we had No Way Home, Spider-Man,
which
was great.
It was great, but to be fair, I think that sort of like how episode 7 of Star Wars was, after I had a chance to get over the hype of it being Spider-Man and Spider-Man and Spider-Man and then actually looking at the story. Yeah. It's not the most cohesive story.
Oh, I chose to ignore all that because I had all 3 Spider-Man. So that was the end of my analysis on that movie.
So yeah, like in hindsight, Like once I went back and looked at it again, it wasn't the most cohesive story. Didn't care.
Nope.
Because I saw Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland in Spider-Man suits on the same screen
they did the meme.
at the same time.
They did the meme, Walter. You know?
So like, realistically speaking, and also they didn't piss me off.
Yeah.
Like Ray.
Yeah.
Ray pissed me off. So I immediately started picking that apart.
Right.
But yeah, so
yeah, it was a good movie. I thought it was, you know, I was excited. Then we go to She-Hulk. So all right, let's just go ahead and.
Right. So realistically speaking, we said this in the DC universe comments. Do this now. I hate how they are nerfing guys to make women more important, and it's not necessary. It just isn't. There's no reason to make Thor dumber and dumber and dumber each movie so that you can make Valkyrie the main character or the best character. It's just not necessary. She's a great character by herself without you having to nerf Thor. There's no reason for it.
Right. And the level of disrespect that we had sent Bruce Banner's way in She-Hulk in just the first episode was ridiculous. Now, you know, for her, it's easier for her to control her Hulk form because she doesn't have the childhood trauma that Bruce has. And it really seemed like she was just brushing under the rug all of the trauma that he had been through. On top of the childhood trauma, everything he's done to save the world. Like, just his time as an Avenger is more than most humans have ever gone through.
The military chasing him down, trying to turn him into a weapon.
Can't ever be in love with anybody.
Yeah. You know, like being exiled off the planet. You know, there's a billion reasons.
He was Hulk for 2 years and didn't even remember what was going on.
Yeah, a million reasons why Bruce Banner is the last person you say, I
control my anger.
I am infinitely more angry than you.
Infinitely more than you.
Because someone cat called you.
Yeah.
No,
it's
you're
not the same as being shot at, or people trying to get your blood to make more of you, or like that was frustrating. And the thing that sucked is that I would have been okay with that if they actually paid off her arrogance being kind of thrown back in her face. Because like at the end, or towards the end, when they had her freak out, rightfully so, when they had like the whole sex tape thing, like, yeah, I'd freak out too. But when the cops were pointing guns at her, I'm like, okay, this is where she's going to learn what Bruce was saying. You have to, and she was going to, and Thanos snapped consequences away from her.
They erased
the whole plot line. And also, Walter, you know something? The guy, the quote unquote cute guy that she slept with, that betrayed her. Do you notice that he never got consequences? She only wanted the ugly guy that she didn't want to date to be held responsible, not the guy who actually tricked her, slept with her, which I believe is considered rape, and then took her blood. Did you notice that? She never wanted. It was only the weird guy that she wanted. That's really telling of the writing staff, y'all. Come on.
Not to mention the whole turn it into a lawyer show, but we don't know anything about law.
Which they admitted, which is like, then she should not have been a lawyer, or you should have got a different staff. And then what they did to Daredevil was horrendous.
And but in the end, this is indicative of what has been happening in Marvel movies lately.
Yeah,
is just for some reason you think you have to make these women these all-powerful godlike beings who haven't earned it.
And if you want them to be all godlike beings, you already have Wanda. Well, we all know she's not dead.
And like, realistically,
and you have the Phoenix.
And Wanda has earned that power.
Yeah.
Like, you don't hear any guy complaining about Wanda's level of power. No. So, like, you know how, like, you get all these people who are like, you just hate it because a woman... No. No one complains about Wanda's level of power.
When she dropped down in Endgame, and like, I remember my theater, I'll never forget this. When she dropped down, the whole theater went silent. Because Thanos was like, I don't even know who you are. He's like, you will. And then she proceeded to basically one-tap Thanos, and he's like, fire at literally everything. I don't care. Blow it all up. Because he was about to get killed.
Yeah.
He was. I mean, because she's the strongest Avenger. Well, I mean, I don't know if she's an Avenger now, but back then she was the strongest Avenger. You know, it's just like she definitely earned, and she's been through a lot, and she got her power increased by learning magic.
Yeah,
she studied what Agatha did, and then she went through the dark hole. She spent a lot of time. She did an evil version of what Strange did. Mm-hmm. She had a version of herself looking through the book while she was living off her life, So she earned that that ability. Phoenix she's just built different. Whenever she pops up, she's just built different. She just is what it is. Storm, just built different.
Yeah.
Some people just start off better than you. It is what it is. What it is.
And we don't have a problem with that.
No.
We don't have a problem with people with women who are strong when they've earned it.
Yeah.
Or who are strong because, hey, you were if you were born that way,
or if they're just not annoying. Because Captain Marvel, I'm a fan of Miss Marvel, or Carol Danvers, right? She did her character is interesting, but they made her whole character very unlikable.
Yeah, they did.
Her most likable forms was when she was in the what was it? Was she in the end credits for Endgame? Or sorry, for Infinity War? I think it was Infinity War she was in, and then when we saw her in Endgame, that was her at her most likable, and it's because she was there for 3 seconds.
I didn't even like her. No. I mean, that may be her in her most likable list.
Yeah.
Again, that sort of boils down to writing. Realistically speaking, Carol Danvers was written poorly,
and she started off in Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
No one else, even Wanda didn't start off being the Scarlet Witch. There was years in between her being, oh look, I can make you see things and move things a little bit with my mind, to now I'm the Scarlet Witch.
But I mean, she went 2 weeks before becoming binary.
Did she? She took the limiter out and was immediately binary.
That was about 2 weeks.
No, it was about 2 seconds.
Yeah, you're right.
But I in my head though, Walter, when she was binary, I'm like, I can just see Rogue in the background, yeah, I'm gonna come get my powers. But her being binary in movie 1 for her was a mistake. Now,
agreed.
I know they're doing the Marvels, which is gonna be her and Miss Marvel and what's her face, Monica Rambeau. I know during that would have been a good time for her to go binary, and that film after we've seen her a few times, But starting off with that, there was no fight.
Yeah, you're right.
There was, once she took the limiter out, there was no struggle. Which is not very entertaining at all.
Well, no, and I think that for some of the characters, that's also a problem. Okay, look, I loved Black Panther, Black Panther Wakanda Forever.
Mm-hmm.
I liked.
Yeah.
And part of my liking it is the fact that Shuri as Black Panther works for me. That's fine. That wasn't my major problem. My major problem was there was no reason to kill T'Challa. I get it.
Yeah.
But there was not a real reason for it. It wasn't a storyline thing. They fixed the story
around real life,
real life, instead of fixing the story around the story. There was no reason for it. And I would be willing to bet you that if Chadwick Boseman had a chance to even tell people what he wanted, he would have wanted
a recast. Yeah.
I think that Shuri worked.
Yeah.
But Shuri in that second movie, I don't know that, even though she's hard on herself, I don't really know that she works that way. She seemed out of character to me. And again, she'd been through so much.
Yeah.
I get all of that. It felt wrong.
Well, I think, because one of the things that I liked about the movie was that, because there was that feeling of being uncomfortable, which is kind of how things are when your life is in that really weird spot. You've been through all this stuff, and now your brother's dead. You go and you lose your mother now. It's just, it's a weird moment.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a very weird movie because of what it's dealing with. And I think that's kind of the point. I feel like it captured kind of the real world feeling of being in that period in life where things are transitioning and it's just like it's weird.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, no, like I do. There was something.
Cause I think they're gonna bring. I think eventually one day they'll bring back T'Challa as King of the Dead because he did. There was the Deadly of the Species storyline
Mm-hmm.
where Shuri becomes the Black Panther. So I mean,
yeah, no, there was nothing wrong with that.
It was a weird feeling.
It was just a weird feeling, yeah. And it's like
I think they did the best they could with what they had considering.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but it definitely is weird. Like I saw it I think three times,
mm-hmm.
and I was still unpacking it, afterwards, but but that was a movie they didn't have to detract from anybody to make Shuri look cool. She was able to she consulted with M'Baku,
mm-hmm.
who stole the movie, honestly.
Absolutely.
It ended with him being king of Wakanda. Like there was no issue with trying to make her be like the strong female character who don't need no man.
Mm-hmm.
She was just who she was. So it just seems to be a problem with like Captain Marvel and She-Hulk, because even Miss Marvel, they didn't make the guys worse.
Okay, so, but to be fair with Miss Marvel, she's like 12.
No, she's like 16, 17.
But she's like 12. So
I
understand it. But like what I'm saying is, she's really young. So, she was comic relief all unto herself. She just got her power. She was her own comic relief. So they didn't feel the need to make anybody look stupid because she kind of did that herself. Once for a moment she was epic, then she was dumb. Then she was epic, then she was dumb. So you didn't have to take anybody else and then go, okay, well, to make her look more powerful, I got to make you look like a sap.
Right.
That was fine. The Jinn were all pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hated that she's a mutant.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I liked hearing the theme song. That was pretty cool. But I did not like her being. She should be an Inhuman, and I get it. People didn't like the Inhuman series, but you can fix that. Mm-hmm. That could be because like my problem with that is, this one we actually forgot movie. How are you gonna make her a mutant to hide Inhumans, and then you bring back what's his face from the Inhumans?
Black Bolt.
Yeah. You bring I forget his real name, his actor name. I forgot his actor name, but you bring that guy back. Oh, we forgot about Eternals.
I didn't forget Eternals. I just tried to ignore it.
Yeah, Eternals was pretty Eternals was weird for me. I like what Eternals introduced, like the ideas and concepts they brought in. The execution was weird.
Okay, so Eternals is literally the only Marvel movie I've never seen twice.
Really?
I've seen every Marvel movie at least twice, except for Eternals. I watched Eternals one time. I have no interest in seeing it ever again.
Oh, man.
Like, okay, and I mean, even, okay, now, if you add in the shows, I've not watched She-Hulk again. I watched it all the way through.
Yeah.
I will never watch it again.
They need to start giving people more experience. Cause I know Chloe Zhao. I know she apparently won an award prior, but she hadn't done many movies, so she should not have had Eternals. And then for She-Hulk, I don't know who they got to write that, but that was trash. Like that was.
But they admitted it. That's the thing. When they got to the end of the show, they basically told you, "Yes, we know this is garbage writing."
Yeah, like that was them. Like admitting that you're trash does not make it okay to be trash. It was horrendous.
It was bad.
It was bad. And then like now we have to think, anytime we see her in the universe, well, why doesn't she just go talk to Kevin? Like she has that ability.
Yeah, why didn't she go rewrite the snap? Because
she can do that.
She went back in time, stopped dude from getting her blood.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, Bruce starts off that show by saying, there's something special in our blood that allowed you to get my blood and become a Hulk, and then they just injected her blood into some random dude, and it worked.
And then another thing, Walter, they just said, "Oh yeah, also here's Scar." Mm-hmm. That's it. He's Scar. He's a thing.
Yeah.
And Daredevil's having Sunday dinner with their family.
Who, by the way, okay, everybody knows who Jennifer Walters is. Mm-hmm. They know she's the She-Hulk. Everybody knows that the She-Hulk banged Daredevil. They said it. They pointed it out. They pointed out that Daredevil did the walk of shame from her house. And now she's having dinner with Matt Murdock from New York while Daredevil's in town.
But he's blind though, Walter. And as we know, there aren't crazy powers in this universe that allow you to do crazy things.
Just saying, they outed Daredevil.
They did. Yeah, they did. Yeah, this show is... It gets more trash the more you think about it.
Uh-huh.
I have never seen a show just forget its consequences that it's built itself up to.
They didn't forget them?
And I Walter, she's like, you know, me learning to be myself with these powers, that's my stakes. No one cares about that. That's stupid and boring and irrelevant. Mm-hmm. When you have a world where there's a giant stone man in your ocean because he was trying to destroy the planet to be born.
I should just rewrite that.
Or there's a big old purple guy who got 6 stones and wiped out half of all existence.
Should have written that.
Or the myriad of other aliens, demons, wizards,
and this is the problem with She-Hulk.
Yeah, it was bad.
By allowing... It was one thing to have her talking to the audience. Yeah. Deadpool does that. And that's fine, because he talks to the audience. He's aware we're watching, but there's nothing he can do about it. He doesn't jump out and he doesn't become a part of anything. He just knows we're here.
Yeah. And what sucks is Tatiana Maslany, I think, is a good actress for She-Hulk. Mm-hmm. I just hate the character now because of her. Or because of the show. And it just... I kind of don't even want to see her in the rest of the MCU now. And then, like, have you seen some of the interviews that she and the writers gave after?
No.
Talking about how like it was like the movie, it was supposed to be a giant, you know, like FU to fanboys and stuff, and like they were doing it to get people angry. And it's like, okay, but that's not how you get us to give you money.
Yeah, basically. I mean, but like. I know that there are going to be some women who are listening to this who are going to hate what I'm about to say, but 70% of what's written for comic books and what is seen in movies, you're not looking at it. We are. Yeah. Dudes are. And then for the 70%, for the 30% of women who are watching these movies or going to these shows, 50% of them didn't pay.
They were dragged there. They were dragged there by their boyfriend or their husband or something.
Which leaves 15%. So 85% of the audience who's watching this movie is either male or was brought there by a guy.
However, if it's a Thor movie or a dude who's buff, they do go for that.
That does go down. Yeah, then it becomes 45-ish.
But I don't think... I know they made She-Hulk for the female audience. I don't think women were watching it because out of women in my life who I know watch this kind of stuff, not a single one of them has talked to me about She-Hulk. Like, they talk about all the other things. When I ask, "Oh, did you watch She-Hulk?" They go, "Oh no, I didn't watch it."
My wife isn't a comic book fan. Uh-huh. She watched She-Hulk. She found it amazingly funny, but she found it funny. There's no consequences to anything. She doesn't care about what it did as far as the Marvel universe. She just thought the show itself was funny. Mm-hmm. So she enjoyed it, but she doesn't get why it doesn't work.
Yeah. Now, if they had done it as a what if or like an animation or something, but they made it part of the MCU. Mm-hmm. And Scar being there is a huge thing. And they also revealed that the Sokovia Accords are no longer a thing in She-Hulk.
Yeah. They just mentioned it. Like, they repealed it.
Whole movie about the fallout of the Sokovia Accords was huge, and it's just now gone. It's just gone.
Yeah. And that's fine.
And then also, Walter, tell me how it makes sense that they, when they took Jennifer Walters' powers from her, right? Why? Here's the thing, she freaked out because of the sex tape thing.
Mm-hmm.
A legitimate thing to freak out about. Give her a warning, sure, but when you know there's things out there that could crush Earth, you don't shackle one of your potential best warriors. You say, to make up for what you did, you're an Avenger now. You're on call when we need you or something. She's clearly not a psychopath. She's clearly not a bad guy. But no, we're going to put you on house arrest or put you in a cage. What kind of sense does that make?
None. Okay, now. I know you hate Superman.
I do with a burning passion.
But Superman, the Hulk, Captain America, they all have this one thing in common. Had this happened to them, when they walked up with the shackles, they would be like, no.
Yeah.
Just no. And they would have stepped back and be like, all right then. Because...
Well, Cap would have turned himself in.
He would have turned himself in, and then he would have said,
I have to go
if
now.
something happens,
I'm going.
I'm leaving, I'm taking this off,
Yeah.
and what are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
Because that's Galactus. You want to fight him yourself?
Yeah.
All right then, so I'm going to go handle that.
It didn't make any sense. It was bad, Walter. It was, and also, her lawyers. I mean, this is how you know that they don't know how to write law. A good lawyer in a world where superheroes exist could have easily used the argument for temporary insanity due to the fact that she was legally raped and there was revenge porn about her.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you if you had gone to trial, which is, as a lawyer should have gone to trial, a court been like, yeah, we give her like probation or we'll give her like community service in the form of being an Avenger or something.
Mm-hmm.
There is no way, Walter, that they put a woman like that in jail. She didn't even kill anybody. I mean, yes, the building is damaged and she will need to pay for that. But it was understandable.
And also, she's a lawyer. She should know how to fight this and get herself out.
Yeah.
I mean, she was the head of the superhuman division. So,
but she only got that because she was She-Hulk.
But
she
and a lawyer.
Yeah, but like clearly not a good one.
I'm just saying, she wasn't like fighting cosmetic battles or whatever. She was actually she was Emil Blonsky's lawyer.
She did fight an influencer who was about cosmetics though.
Yeah, she punched him in the face. But I'm just saying,
yeah.
She was Emil Blonsky's lawyer. So it's not like she wasn't.
But to be fair, I think she was only able to get Emil Blonsky off because she was the Hulk's cousin. Because the testimony of someone who was connected to the person he tried to kill was on his side, I think that helped. Also, the Sorcerer Supreme coming to did also help too.
Yeah.
It's just like there's no way. I don't think in real life, Walter, if we were in the Marvel universe, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think She-Hulk gets to have her power stripped for that.
I agree.
Now, if she had started killing a bunch of people, yeah. But for
fines,
cracking,
maybe?
Yeah, I think fines, and she has to be an Avenger now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if the world needs you, we will call and you will answer. But Hulk has done a lot worse.
Yeah, but he also wouldn't let them catch him.
I mean, there's that too. Yeah, he would go Hulk smash, and then go, oh, you're right. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Now, okay, ladies and gentlemen, everybody who's listening. To be fair, we've degenerated this down into what's wrong with She-Hulk. But what's wrong with She-Hulk is what's indicative of what's wrong with Marvel.
Now, granted, some positive things. Love and Thunder. I thought I was going to hate Love and Thunder. I actually liked Love and Thunder. First of all, I love the goats.
The goats were amazing.
They were the best part of the movie. I love when they landed on that gray planet and it was all silent and epic. Wow! I love that. They actually made me like Jane Foster Thor more than in the comics. I did not like her in the comics. I liked her here though, because the hammer coming to her made a lot of sense because he enchanted it.
Her, yeah.
Like he didn't know he did, but he enchanted it to call it to her, and then. The act of sacrifice of she knows if I pick up the hammer again, I will die. But those kids in the world will be at stake. so she picks up the hammer anyway. That shows she is heroic, and then, and of course, they send her to Valhalla because they're like, just in case, in case we need to pull you back for the movie, you're Valhalla, which means she should be cured of cancer when she comes back now because she's dead, right? So I liked her. I liked the movie. I did notice there was a lot of objectification of Chris Hemsworth.
There was.
That had it been reversed,
we'd still talking about this today.
There'd be issues and riots, and his body type is unrealistic, and but it is what it is. We're not going to go in to the double standard, but fine. But I like the movie though.
So did I. You know what? When again, and I bring my wife up a lot because I think that like she sort of represents the whole, so every woman, every man type aspect of this. But when Thor was giving his powers to the kids, she asked me how that could happen, and I was like, well, even though Valkyrie is the king, Thor is the Allfather now.
Yeah.
So
he has Thor force.
Yeah. So he has the power to do what Odin did in the first movie, which is enchant something and give.
Valkyrie's just watching the throne for him.
It's his throne,
which he could come back and take at any time. Because remember when Asgard was all freaking out and she couldn't get them to shut up, and Thor just says a word and they're like, oh, okay, Thor's talking. But also, I loved when he gave the kids power. He's like, whoever holds these weapons should they be worthy, shall possess for a limited time only the power of Thor. I love that, for a limited time only. And then they went to town. Like, I thought that was fun. That was great. And also Chris Hemsworth, very smart. He set his daughter up to be the next Thor when he's done. That man's smart. He's like, nah, there may come a time where I'm old, but my daughter gonna be making this money though.
Then Gore the God Butcher. Okay, he was great.
I think Christian Bale was too good for that role because they didn't give him enough time.
No, I agree wholeheartedly. They didn't let him develop at all. Yeah. And then like when Thor went to Zeus, that would have been a great time for Gore the God Butcher to follow him somewhere.
Yeah.
That would
yeah. Also, I liked how they resolved it. It wasn't resolved through fighting. It was resolved through Thor just talking to the guy.
Which is what they were trying to accomplish with She-Hulk and didn't.
No, yeah, it was bad.
Also,
I did love how at the end, how Zeus sent Hercules. Like, all right, look at them getting out and then we went to She-Hulk. And we just right to She-Hulk.
But we got some good things happening. Wonder Man is coming.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you didn't know this?
I did not know that, no.
Yeah, so I'm sure we're gonna get White Vision back because Wonder Man has to get hurt and become the Vision.
Right. I'm looking forward to Quantumanium. I think it's gonna be good. Kang, I forget his actor's name, but his actor is playing like 85 different people, and he's doing them all very well.
Yeah.
Like every time you see him, he's entirely different. Walter.
Well, see, you know what? Okay. Chadwick Boseman, God rest his soul.
Yeah.
He was the blackest actor in America. Now it's that guy.
Now it's Kang.
Just like everything he does. I mean, doing movies about the Civil War, doing movies about World War I. Yeah. Like the guy is great. And so I'm looking forward to seeing what Kang actually does. Now, when he appeared in Loki, he was a little off.
Well, because that was He Who Remains. And
it was great.
It's a whole different character, and he's doing really good.
Yeah,
and then he's also being Kang as a boxer in that new Creed movie. He's boxing with Killmonger. Tell me that's not Marvel canon. And wait, who didn't Ryan Coogler, isn't he doing Creed too? Also, isn't he director for that?
I don't think so, but maybe I don't know.
Who did? Let me look at it. Who did director of Creed? Let's see. Director of Creed. Yeah, it's Ryan Coogler.
Oh, okay.
So, Walter, he did Black Panther, and he's doing this. It's canon. I'm considering Creed 3 a Marvel movie. All right. But yeah, I mean, So there's some good. Ant-Man looks good. I'm looking forward to the future. They just have to stop doing what they did with She-Hulk. If they can stop doing that kind of grandstanding, that kind of,
Actually, they have to stop doing what they started with the last 15 minutes of Endgame, which is shoehorning women into these spots.
Oh, the female empowerment shot.
Yeah,
that was the weirdest thing, because why would they have all decided to team up together? For one, two, Spider-Man is stronger than all but two of those women there. Mm-hmm. So that didn't make any dang sense. And three, outside of Captain Marvel and Scarlet Witch, Walter, I want you to tell me honestly, in that situation, who else mattered in that female empowerment shot?
I love Okoye, but she's
not. Like, Walter, even she said during Infinity War, when Wanda dropped down, she was like, why was she up there? She should have been down here.
Yeah, that was literally my favorite line of that entire movie.
That was the most blackest line. Why was she up there? She just dropped down and just tossed the giant spinning spike thing, just boom. So like that scene, everyone could tell that it was really forced. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't even trying to line up A-Force, which is like the all female Avengers team. It was just there for like, oh look, the women are together.
Yeah, and that in and of itself is my biggest problem with that, is that, and with a lot of these things actually, is that instead of letting something naturally happen, they have weakened certain characters to make other ones stronger, and then they have shoehorned other characters into positions that they wouldn't naturally have fallen into. Wanda is the most powerful entity in the Marvel universe right now, and she's supposed to be. She has earned that. Mm-hmm. Absolutely, and earned that.
And we haven't even gone to her being what is it, like a source for the god of chaos? Like that hasn't even been fully explored yet.
She-Hulk, they went out of their way to tell you every episode she's better than the Hulk.
And she's just not.
And she's not. Yeah. Not even close. Yeah. Not as interesting. Not as powerful. Not as smart. There's no part of that where she's better. And yet they allowed her to keep saying over and over again she was better. And it becomes a problem in the whole Marvel universe that they keep doing this.
And it was really like I was reading some Reddit posts of people who who were upset because they see Hulk as a character who suffered with mental illness, and the way the show treated him, like basically how she was showing off that like she had no issues controlling her Hulk. That's an insult to everything that he went through, or how when he had the book of all things that he had learned over his time being Hulk, and she just ignored it. Like that's really minimizing all of his issues. Like, yeah, great, you don't have the drawbacks that him and Emil had of losing control. That's a great advantage for you.
Actually, Emil didn't have that drawback either.
Well, so what they were saying in the court case, and I don't know if this is true, like but what he said in the court case was that the super soldier serum made him act that way. Remember in the court?
And Captain America, the movie, actually,
it made him more him.
It made him more him.
It forced it out, but that was, it took him a while to kind of calm down. But she was able to control her powers from the jump. And she's obviously she's more flexible than Hulk because she's thinner than the Hulk. She's not a block. The Hulk is a square. He's literally a square. He's just an angry square. So like she has advantages. She's supposed to be a better lawyer than Hulk because Hulk's not a lawyer. So like she has things that she's good at, but they kept trying to compare it to someone who has already thrown hands with like a god and Thanos and been to space. Like it's just like, come on, it's week one. But like that female empowerment shot, what it should have been, it should have just been Captain Marvel, because obviously she's coming after the gauntlet, right? It would have made sense if she came and said, hey kid up here or whatever, and he throw it to her. The others were irrelevant.
Yeah,
they didn't even do anything.
And if you had them all, like, if she's flying across the... If you had them, as she's flying across the field, turn and go, oh, she's being attacked. And then then these women jump and start attacking things off to the side.
Yeah.
So that you still get them into the shot, but now it's naturally happening because they're knocking things off. That would have worked for me. But to have them just all decide to pile up in the middle of a battlefield...
Yeah.
And go, she's got help. Why? And
what,
who?
Like,
because it ain't you.
What are you gonna do about it?
Like Captain America coming over here and helping with Mjolnir. That would have
with Mjolnir.
Yeah, that's with Mjolnir.
It has to be because just him like, hey guys, what are you doing here? What are you doing, Cap?
No, yeah, with Mjolnir, that works.
It was, and then like, what man just showed up. What's she gonna do? She's already tried. I mean, yeah, but like she tried last time. It didn't. Well, it was working.
It was working.
Thanks, Peter. Thanks, Peter. We had a whole other movie now because of you, Peter. It could have been over.
Black Widow had to die because of you, Peter.
That's true. That's facts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we trade back? Cause. but yeah, like that shot. It was dumb. It didn't make any sense. You only needed 2 of those characters anyway.
Yeah.
How would they find time in all that chaos to link up? That was weird. If they can just stop with that crap, man, I think they'll be fine because Marvel has a lot of high tier female people, like female characters. I mean,
and they have a plan.
I mean, once they do mutants, Walter, when you have Phoenix, you'll have Storm, you'll have the White Witch. You know she's she's coming.
Speaking of Storm, do you know who Jade Cargill is? She's a professional wrestler. I know you don't watch wrestling.
I don't watch the wrestling,
but Jade Cargill does cosplay when she does her wrestling, and she also wants to be Storm. This is Jade Cargill.
Yeah, that can be Storm. Yeah, that's Storm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and she's not afraid of humans.
No. Oh God, bro.
I'm afraid of them, and it's like, no, you're Storm. You are a goddess. Rogue is powerful. She's broken as hell.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like they have a lot of other characters that they can bring in, but like they don't have to try and make everybody worse for it.
Agreed. That's all, and that's all I want is for them to just honor each character.
Yeah.
I mean, you want comic relief? There are plenty of comic relief characters out there.
I mean, Squirrel Girl.
Right? Look, we have them out there. Even even Spider-Man himself, he's comic relief and he knows it. He just happens to also be pretty epic.
Right.
But we don't need to nerf.
What's her name? The Sparkler and chick. Jubilee.
Oh, Jubilee.
Jubilee.
Actually, Jubilee's pretty powerful. She wasn't, but she is now.
No,
she used to be Fireworks.
I'll never accept it. I'll never.
She was at least. Is she still a vampire?
Probably. I don't know.
Yeah, like Jubilee became a mutant vampire with explosive powers. So
also we'll have the Invisible Woman coming up.
Mm-hmm.
She, when allowed to be, broken as hell.
Yeah, Johnny Storm, comic relief, who also happens to be pretty epic.
Yeah.
The Thing also is really funny.
Yeah. He's discount Hulk, Walter.
He really is. Yeah.
He's just the only thing I need Ben Grimm for is to give Super Skrull his rock powers. That's it. That's all I need him there for. That's it. Once he does that, he can leave.
I'm not a fan of the Fantastic Four anyway. I know I just spoke sacrilege.
I'm a fan of Super Skrull, who needs them to get his power set that I had in MVC3.
I'm a fan of Johnny Storm.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of Sue Storm. I'm a fan of Super Skrull. I'm a fan of the Silver Surfer.
And Franklin
Galactus.
Richards.
No.
You want Franklin Richards?
Respect Franklin Richards.
You have to, because he'll kill you otherwise.
Yeah, for real. But I don't particularly care about him. He's sort of a boring character.
Rise, my Galactus. That's cool!
Yeah.
That's why we can't be friends. But like because like if they can just stop with that weird trying to raise women at the expense of men, they'll be fine.
Agree.
Because all those characters that were in that female shot were great characters.
Mm-hmm.
They were just used wrong, and I think if they hopefully they've gotten that out of the system. But She-Hulk doesn't give me a lot of hope for that. But if they can correct that, they're good to go.
Well, it's not okay. So this isn't just a problem with Marvel; it's a problem with Hollywood.
Yeah, it is.
Hollywood is becoming this thing where men are nerfed and women are raised up, and it doesn't need to be.
Also, so in that shot, right, Wasp was there.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't it have made more sense to give it to Wasp?
It would have,
because then she could just
shrink it
and then just fly easily. I feel like they had better options there. The more thing about the dumber it gets. What was Okoye going to do?
You know who they really needed? Sarah Connor and Ellen Ripley. They both needed to be in that shot. They would have taken Thanos by themselves. And and I'm just saying, okay, back to what I was saying about Hollywood.
Let go of that gauntlet. Comes in with the power loader.
But I'm just saying, dude, look, for some reason Hollywood today has forgotten that epic women have been written.
But the ones that have been written, Walter, they're kind of disrespecting them. Like, what do you call it? Sarah Connor in that last movie. She just let her son get killed. They got caught off guard at that beach, and then she didn't really do great the whole movie. I'm like, but that's Sarah Connor though. She
beat a Terminator without training.
Like, yeah, like I was like, I don't.
And then in part 2,
I'm not a fan of this.
No, not at all. Part 2, her whole thing in part 2 was, I'm ready for everything.
And then she wasn't.
And then she wasn't.
I didn't like any of that. It was it's like they. Oh, and then I saw a article the other day that what's her face, Hunger Games chick, Mystique,
Jennifer Lawrence,
said that she was like one of the first, like the first female main character in an action thing. Like people were like,
and people were like, yeah. So what about these? And she's like, well, no, I didn't mean the first.
What about
what I meant
Ripley,
was
Sarah Connor, the Tomb Raider? Like, come on now, Kill Bill. Dude, part 1 and 2, like, come on now.
Yeah, like, sometimes people don't think before they speak, and that was definitely one of those times. But going back to Hollywood, man, they seem to not understand. Epic women have been written. Epic women have shown up and done really amazing things. There's a reason why there are 4 Alien movies with Ripley in them, and it's because Ripley's great.
Yeah.
There's a reason why they keep trying to bring Sarah Connor back after Terminators 1 and 2.
Shoot, even the Halloween movies.
Yeah.
With, what's her face?
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah. But those are great.
Yeah. Except for the last one.
I didn't see that one on purpose.
All right, so just go back and watch it.
The one before that was great, though. I love when she, when she creeped up on Michael. She's like, "Happy Halloween, Michael." And he was like, "What?" And then she got him. And he was like, "Yeah."
Yeah, so I'm just saying,
yeah.
Like, for some reason, everybody seems to be under the impression that a good woman can't be written without nerfing the men, and it's not necessary.
I think an aspect of it has to be there are probably women who are in the writing room or who are in higher spots of power who are not taking this as an opportunity to write good characters, taking this as an opportunity for quote-unquote revenge. Like, they feel like they've been slighted, right? It's like if you have black writers who are angry at white people, and they make them the cartoonishly evil devil when they write something, right?
I hate that.
It's bad. It's like that's not good. By the way, for the reference, we are black. So like I think that there are some people who are getting out their frustrations, which as evidence of that for She-Hulk when they had the interviews, they said that they wrote this as like an FU to the toxic fanboys. Like, they literally made male fans the bad guy of the show.
And it's a small part of the male population. It's not like every guy watching this was like that. You're talking about like a vocal 2%.
Right. And then they didn't even have good points. And also, Walter, the question, if they got rid of the blood subplot, then what was Dude arrested for?
At the revenge porn.
No, that didn't happen. That was part of the blood plot. So what was he arrested for? Because she didn't like him. Because he was ugly and lame.
Because he was one of those meddling kids. Because I'm like, okay.
But think about, like, what was he arrested for?
For the same thing that people in Scooby-Doo are arrested for. Because if you think about it, you've watched Scooby-Doo.
Of course.
Okay. So the bad guys always scare people. They don't hurt them. They generally don't even kidnap them. They just run them away.
But those kids and their talking dog said they're bad.
Exactly. And She-Hulk said they're bad. And so
it's okay when the funny dog does it. It's not okay when they it's just so it gets worse the more you think about it. If they don't fix it, Walter, they're gonna start seeing the numbers drop off more and more. Because I remember I saw the data for like how popular She-Hulk was while it was airing. It was in the top 10 its first week, and then never again. Every episode, it was bad.
Of course it was, because I hope it wasn't aimed at fans.
Yeah, I hope they see that and go, "Oh, this is stupid. Let's not do this ever again."
Well, one of the so back in the day when The Rock first started acting, he did a few movies, and like his first couple of movies, they hit pretty big, and then he started seeing a drop off. And part of his drop off was that wrestling fans. The more he did movies, the more he kept saying, I'm an actor now. I'm not a wrestler. Yes, I got my start in wrestling, but I'm not a wrestler. And wrestling fans, the people who were supporting him, were like, well, then why am I watching this? Because basically you're sitting here and you're spitting on me as your fan.
Right.
And so The Rock saw this drop off. So then he suddenly showed up at WrestleMania and he's like, I'm back home. And he started wrestling again. He wrestled for a couple of matches for a couple of years. His popularity picked back up. And then he never again said I'm not a wrestler. From then on, he's like, I'm always going to be a wrestler. I know where I came from.
Right.
But, I'm still making movies. But I'm making movies for my fans. He learned.
Yeah.
Marvel and DC also. They haven't learned yet. You can't spit on the people
from Marvel, they haven't had a loss, like a big loss yet.
True.
They've had some bumps in the road, but they haven't lost yet. And for people out there listening, companies only learn if there's a big financial loss. If you complain about something, but then you still go see it and it does well, to them they go, oh, what we did was correct.
True.
Yeah.
Or your complaint doesn't matter.
Right.
But they're gonna start seeing a huge drop off if they don't stop spitting in the face of the fans, because the fans are who put you here.
Yeah.
Not the casual person who just wants to go see a movie where things blow up. Your fans put you here. If your fans don't go see Iron Man first, it tanks.
Yeah. And like, I know there's the thought that people like, guys don't want to see female characters, like people like Black Widow. I liked Hawkeye. Okay. I liked the characters that we saw in the Black Widow movie. I was okay with like, if they're gonna go with her Taskmaster being female, that's fine, but you gotta get the powers right. It ain't no computer chip that gives that. That's the natural ability.
See, okay, here's my problem. If you want Taskmaster to be a girl, then just make Taskmaster a girl.
Yeah.
Don't hide Taskmaster under some dude's body.
Yeah, that was dude body armor. That was for sure. That was them trying to sneak it in there, like, oh, that's actually a girl. I was like, okay, look, it's fine. Just make it obvious that's Taskmaster.
Taskmaster, just make him a girl. That's fine. Whatever. We don't care.
Yeah, I was mad when they made it that like there was like a computer chip and something that was giving her the ability to copy. I'm like, part of Taskmaster's story is that his ability is really powerful, but it makes him forget a lot of other stuff. Because, and that's interesting. Like I know you. I know you're not really into Avengers Academy, but Taskmaster's daughter is in there, and she has similar, like she's really smart. She's kind of and she can remember like kind of everything. But as at the trade-off is she doesn't really have human interaction good. You know, she's kind of trash. I'm like, okay, so if it's a computer chip, you kind of eliminated like that whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that shit, they're just a character now who just does stuff. You know, like they have plenty of female characters. They don't have to try and make them god tier and make everyone else trash.
Especially when you have god tier characters.
You do. I mean, I'm pretty sure Jean Grey is going to be probably 3 faces on her own.
And I know I keep saying this, but Wanda earned being god tier. She earned it, and I'm happy about it. And like no guy, is complaining about Wanda doing what Wanda does.
And fun fact, they have never beaten her.
No, they're not gonna.
She felt bad. And left, but they did not win that fight, and could not win that fight. And she's definitely not dead though. No, like because like we saw that little red flash after everything collapsed. Yeah, that was her either leaving or it's Catone, right? The Chaos guy. Mm-hmm. He's probably like he's like no. We're not done making problems for everybody in the universe. Come on over home. Come on. You know, like they have tons of good characters.
Oh, but one other thing though, the guy who wrote Doctor Strange's last movie, he didn't watch WandaVision.
No, he did not,
and you could tell because he literally starts out with a conflict that they fixed in WandaVision. Wanda being upset about her kids was fixed in WandaVision.
Well, to be fair though, Walter. At the end of WandaVision, when she's going through the, what do you call it, the Darkhold, she heard her kids call out. Mm-hmm. And remember, the Darkhold corrupts. Mm-hmm. So, the way I think about it was that, yeah, she had a breakthrough at WandaVision. The Darkhold kind of threw all of that out of the window.
And that's fair.
Yeah.
But if you're going to tie things together, then you have to watch the thing you're tying it to.
I mean,
or at the very least, have the guy who wrote it sit down with you and go, okay, I have these points. I need some notes. Can you explain to me this?
Well, one thing that it brought up for me for WandaVision was Strange knew what happened and didn't go intervene. He knew there was magic stuff going on.
He's not the Sorcerer Supreme. Wong should have gone.
You know what I mean, though.
I understand what you're saying.
They should have intervened.
But see, Doctor Strange...
Wong knows good and well who the Sorcerer Supreme is. Mm-hmm. He knows good and well it's not him.
And probably by the end of next Doctor Strange movie, that'll be fixed.
Yeah. But it was just... Yeah, I'm like, hey, you seem to already have known about this. You just didn't help?
Okay. And Monica Rambeau as... Well, not Captain Marvel, but...
I mean, is she Photon? Yeah, I think she's Photon, right? Yeah, Photon. Yeah. Yeah, she got her powers are going to be pretty broken. Mm-hmm. I liked her character up until when she said to Wanda, they'll never know what you sacrificed for them. I'm like, she kept them hostage and tortured them. So...
Yeah, but she also gave them rent-free housing.
They were tortured for 7 horrendous days.
Rent-free, though?
No, they probably had to pay bills the next morning. It's America. They're like, where's your rent? We were held captive by a superhuman. That's very sad. Money, please. But, yeah. Marvel, you done really, really good. You got a few bumps, but it's not too late. Just change the pandering, and maybe get people who know what they're doing. Don't do a lawyer show with people who are writing it don't know how to do lawyer stuff.
Oh, and one other thing, and this is just a little slight observation about Black Panther again. If you're in the CIA and you see a random device that you can use for communication laying somewhere that nobody seems to have noticed.
Yeah, that was bad. I don't know how Everett felt for that, dude.
That's just bad. I think
like,
that's just bad writing.
How did he not know he had married Madame Hydra? Like, come on. She was clearly outplaying him
At the very least, don't you check it for like devices before you start using it? I'm just saying, there's no way that you just started doing transmissions through this thing that for some reason no sweeper found, but you saw it.
He's a dum-dum. He knew good and well who he married, and like she played him. All right?
Mm-hmm.
It was bad. He was down horrendous after that. I'm like, wow, that is crazy. But yeah, Marvel. Other than that, you're doing all right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you're doing okay. Kevin, maybe don't stretch yourself so thin. All right, maybe less projects. All right, because you're losing control on some things right now. It's not too late. Phase 5, fresh start. Come on. So here's the Ant-Man being good. But
it looks good.
It looks good. It looks good. But until next time, guys, you've been your host, Kerbykidd
and Black Superman.
And I hope to God we can do another episode. See you later, guys.